So do you know what this third habit that we're going to discuss is? Being a victim and complaining. It's so easy for us right now to think, yeah, the world's against us and like, yeah, life's so hard, guys. Did you want an easy life, bro? Of course you didn't. Because, I mean, the opportunity for an easy life is right here, isn't it? Go scroll on TikTok, bro. If you're watching this video, you don't want an easy life. Following on from that, you must understand that you can't have this identity of a victim. When some shit happens to us, like what's happening here, I told you about that story of like the company Skillshare destroying like half of our income. And it's a whole story. Like there's a community post on our channel that you can go and see if you want. We could have been the victim here. We could have seen ourselves as like, oh, you know, poor us, like woe is me. That wouldn't have helped us. Because the thing is, not only does it help you, but quite frankly, yeah, you can say this is toxically masculine, but quite frankly, bro, men who have this victim mentality, they're pussies. They're not helpful at all. I sound fucking horrible because this is so against the modern day, but like, bro, men who have this victim, feminine, weak, emotional mentality, there's no good to having them around. As a man, like your only value comes in your strength. It's it. That's it. As a woman, you know, like we don't expect most women to be strong. If the women want to be masculine and disciplined and, you know, climb up the career hierarchy, okay, fine, nice. A weak woman isn't seen as a bad thing, is it? If a woman is weak physically and, you know, like even mentally, you know, she gets emotional, like we still love her for it. If anything, that's actually kind of attractive. Like some guys might not be because a lot of guys are quite feminine, so they don't want a feminine woman. But if you're a masculine man and you have this idea of like an emotional woman who always cries, it's like, that's why I want her in my life, because she's emotional. Like that's the point. I'm a fucking stone cold. Like I have some emotions obviously, but I like that my girl's emotional all the time. I like that every like 3 days she feels sad, like because it just gives us some shit to do, bro. Like so, you know, a woman who's emotional, who's weak, and who's a victim, okay, fine. As masculine men, we'll look after her. A woman who's strong, sweet, okay, you'll help us carry the weight. A man who's strong, okay, fantastic, that's the best thing that we need for a strong society, fine. But a weak man, a man who sees himself as the victim, a man who has this victim mentality, what good is he? Honestly, you must understand this. As a man, your value comes from your strength. And in the modern day, again, another thing that's gonna get me cancelled maybe, like in the modern day, bro, there's so many like groups of people who love to act like they're oppressed. People of my race, and like, this might get me hated, but bro, you're not oppressed anymore. I don't know how much I can talk because obviously like this is at risk of getting cancelled, but essentially, you know, the minority kind of people, not just like skin color, but just, you know, the people who act like they're oppressed, the people who act like everything's against them. Like, you know, like, oh, everyone's like racist, everyone's sexist, everyone's this, everyone's this, everyone's this. Not really. No one really gives a shit about you. And I don't even say that as an insult. No one really thinks about you. Everyone's thinking about themselves. So if you think you're oppressed by someone, bro, you're not. This is why I've got respect for men like Kanye. He's actually saying to black people to rise up and ditch this victim mentality. And this isn't me saying it, like, you know, I'm not part of this race, okay, fine. But it's nice seeing a man who's just like, yeah, take ownership, like your life's better than you actually realize. And like, this is his words, I'm not gonna fucking say it because, oh, yeah, I'm just being racist. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. We live in physically the best time possible. The only thing that's actually negative right now is just our own mental health. And guess why your mental health is shit? It's because of your own thoughts and beliefs about what's happening to you. You know, there's studies to prove that what you believe deeply changes what actually happens to you. If there's two men who are deeply stressed right now, hugely stressed, but one of them likes the stress, like he has this belief, like, yeah, like stress is good. Like it really helps me. Like, you know, I really do good work when I'm stressed. And the other one's like, oh, I'm stressed. Stress leads to early death and stress leads to bad health. You do realize the effect of stress will actually change depending on what these men believe about that. The effect of any kind of oppression or problem that you're going through is only based on your own beliefs about the thing. Like no one will believe this. You choose if you want to experience suffering. Most men are too emotional to have this like victim mindset where they think that this is like toxic or some shit. You choose how you feel about anything. As a man, that's one of our greatest treasures. It's our greatest strength. We can choose to feel angry. If you're constantly overstimulating yourself, you don't have this superpower. But when you spend a week away from technology, you can choose what you want to feel. I can literally turn on my anger right now and I can turn it off. I can choose what I want to feel. So why choose to be a victim? Why choose to like pretend like your power's been stripped away from you? It's our greatest superpower. It's just choosing your own feelings. You need to like, there's some prerequisites to this. You have to meditate for a couple of weeks. Okay, fine. It's like 1 hour of time over a couple of weeks. You have to take a step back from anything that's fucking up your attention span, like TikTok and stuff. Okay, fine. But after that, like our superpower is literally being able to not be a victim. A man with a core like masculine energy could be imprisoned and like shut away in solitude and still be having like an okay time because he didn't see himself as the victim. And there's stories of this. There's this one man, I don't know his name. He was a black boxer in the 1900s, imprisoned for something that he didn't do. He went into the prison cell, whatever, like get arrested essentially, like with a fucking $5,000 watch and everything. And literally said to them, like, you can put me in prison, but you can't change what's in my mind. And he became the most successful of his life while still in prison. He chose not to be a victim about it. And nowadays everyone's